Welcome to another episode of Game Jockies, the Lazarus Podject. My name is Eric. Today we are doing it over Skype because we can't get all together in the same spot. So I am here with Tyler, Jared,
yo,
and our guest jockey Cody.
Hey.
So, Jared, what have you been up to lately?
I've been playing a lot of Witcher lately.
Oh, really?
How is it? That. It's good. I'm really enjoying it. I was a big fan of the second one. Liking the third one even better, though. I feel like they did a lot of good changes to it.
Like what?
The customization of the controls, actually, for one. I found with the second Witcher, a lot of the times it was too finicky and fast when moving with the sticks. For the third one, they changed it so you can actually slow it down or speed it up or whatever, how you see
Well, that's good, because I
fit, so you're not... Go ahead.
I played a little bit of it on the 360 when it was out, but I found it, it controlled kind of wonky a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus, spells were a little different.
Not worth it?
Not worth it. I found it a little hard to jumping in and out of the menus all the time. I found it a lot easier when I played on the PC, but PC Master Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's a lot more open for customizing on the third one, which I really enjoy, so...
Yeah.
You're playing it on the PlayStation 4?
Yeah, on the PS4.
Okay. And so you're just talking like pure sensitivity on like control sticks and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. An issue with the 360 is you'd go to loot something and you'd end up, lighting a candle by accident. They're the same buttons, so...
Nice.
I definitely found it a little bit easier to deal with on the PC than on the 360. Everything was kind of finicky. Even combat felt a little stiff.
Yeah, just from playing Witcher 2 on the 360, it felt like it was made for keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And then just lazily threw in controller support.
And they did a better job on this one?
Yeah.
That's been a huge problem. Like, anytime they've made a console port or vice versa, is that the alternative is just awful.
Yeah, well, in this one it almost feels like they made it for, like, console and then...
Yeah, I was talking to
PC
one
on the
friend.
second.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm finished.
Yeah, I was talking to my one friend. He said there's like just the amount of buttons you have in that game just is easily facilitated by a keyboard mouse system.
Well,
yeah.
And Witcher 2, when it first came out, it was released on PC first.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later that they brought it out on console in the Enhanced Edition.
Yeah.
Which really is the same edition with less bugs.
Yeah.
So basically the finished product that we should have gotten the first time.
Nice.
That's pretty much what it was, yeah.
I haven't personally picked up The Witcher 3. I'm definitely planning on getting it. I know the same company that's made The Witcher is CD Projekt or Red.
Yes, CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red is they got a new cyberpunk style game coming out too. I haven't seen like anything on it except for some of the concept art.
Yeah.
But it looks fucking cool.
They had the actual looking for it too.
And anytime you go to Cyberpunk, then you get Shadowrun, and Shadowrun is masterful.
It is.
Yep.
And like the last Shadowrun we got, other than the one that was released on Steam, was just Call of Duty.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah.
Which, it was fun for a little bit. I loved being a dwarf and planting trees on dead corpses on their crotch.
Yeah.
Someone would die, I'd plant a tree on their crotch.
It's that game's version of teabagging. Brilliant. No, I actually skipped that one because I just wasn't interested in that. But the Shadowrun universe is the most fascinating thing.
Yeah.
Well, my first real touch of Shadowrun, other than that one, was the one they released on the PC, on Steam, the top-down one.
Yep.
And it was pretty sweet. I really enjoyed it. It was took me back to the old days of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that.
I don't think I've ever played Shadowrun.
It's cool. It's an interesting world. Like it's cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's like a technological post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, that's a fair statement, I suppose.
Well, I mean, it's Fallout, just more techie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Less Fallout, less actual nuclear Fallout, more cyber hacking and shit like that.
Speaking of Fallout, have they mentioned anything further?
On Fallout 4, there's just been a lot of possibilities of
rumors.
No, they're teasing it.
They're teasing it so bad, and I want it. Especially, okay, so we went and saw Mad Max the other day.
Fantastic.
And I've never seen the old Mad Maxes. I'm now watching the old Mad Max movies. I don't know why I never did, because I loved the post-apocalyptic wasteland thing.
Maybe because of Mel Gibson.
You know what, though? I liked Mel Gibson's movies, man. I loved
Oh.
Gibson. But
He himself's a raging anti-Semite.
but I saw Mad Max, and the movie blew my mind. It was more than what I expected. There's next to no story in the movie.
Yeah.
But like just the sheer like awesomeness of how they set everything up, and it's literally just them driving cars.
That's basically
Really sweet special effects, and it reminded me of like they have the War Boys,
Okay.
and they're basically a bunch of disease-riddled human beings, which they figure have leukemia because they have to have blood transplants after so long, and they dust themselves pure white to make themselves look like skeletons, so they look more terrifying than their sickly bodies.
Yeah.
But they reminded me of the way they talked and the way they acted. They remind me of the orcs from Warhammer 40K.
Go on.
Well, they're all like, literally everything they use is just like strapped together.
Oh.
Like when they're driving, they have a guy actually like on the hood of the car spitting nitrous into the engine. He's like putting it in his mouth and spitting it in there,
Nice.
and it's just like, oh,
That's hardcore.
it was awesome. And then when they're about to die, to prove themselves or to show off, they spray their face with spray paint, and then they go off to their death.
How do you know when you're gonna die?
Well, the one guy was just like, "Oh, I got shot by 2 arrows." Ah! I thought it was like a stimulant, but it turned out just to be regular old spray.
what
Jared
I
died.
think
I thought was Gates of Valhalla.
Oh yeah, and then they have like the Gates of Valhalla. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
have-
so they sprayed themselves with chrome to look more, I guess, presentable to Valhalla.
Well, I think they worship they worship Immortan Joe, which is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Like the entire movie is basically this one of his praetors. Was supposed to be doing a supply run, but she ends up smuggling his 5 wives out of the Citadel. And then when he realizes that they went off course and that he has all the wives, he takes his entire army out to chase after her. And like my favorite character in the entire movie is the guitar guy. 'Cause he's just literally just leaning there, just going hard. And the cool part is not special effects.
Yeah.
That
All
flame-throwing
practical.
guitar actually is a flame-throwing guitar.
Yeah.
Who said bards were lame?
Yeah. Well, I was reading like for the guys who made all the props, when George Miller came in to see the actual prop itself, he asked him, okay, it looks cool, plug it in, and they're just like, what? Plug it in, let's see how it works.
Yeah.
So, that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought for using like 90% practical effects, it was really well made.
That is,
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Like
I mean,
the trapeze guys,
yeah, that was
and there was that big explosion on that big rig. I was actually reading how it was done. Is they filmed the explosive big rig.
Yeah.
And then they filmed the trapeze and all the other vehicles separately, and then kind of added them together, like edited them and formed the two separate footages together, and then got one scene out of the two different parts they filmed.
That's pretty sweet. And then, of course, Tom Hardy's dialogue was mostly grunting until the end, where he spoke a little bit. And every time he spoke, he sounded like Bane.
nice.
Yeah.
And then he's wearing the Bane mask on the front of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Sounds like an interesting time.
It was good. I've seen it twice, so.
Yeah.
I know Cody's seen it twice too.
I saw that once.
Oh, I thought you said.
I saw Avengers twice.
Oh well,
I
yeah.
saw Avengers 2 twice, and I saw Mad Max once. And it was good if you were just looking for mostly a lot of action or violence.
Yeah.
It definitely did not fall short in that department. But if you are looking for a story, it really didn't have much of one to go with.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's just one of those movies where you come up with that idea that it's not a story.
Well, there's a story to it. They just kind of they started it where the old one's finished almost.
Yeah. Well, I watched the first one today.
Yeah. So with the middle of what's going on from the old ones. So it's almost a continuation of the old ones, essentially.
I love how you just freeze every now and then because camera. You're just like talking and then you're just like, but you're still talking. Your mouth's not moving.
Yeah.
You need to get a better camera.
Fantastic.
So Tyler, what have you been playing?
Well, now that I've beaten Ziggurat and got everything in that, it's time to move on. And Darkest Dungeons is next on the docket.
Oh, that's on my wish list. I need to get it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of good things about it.
That game is just like the darkest, grittiest, most horrible, send your team to their death constantly game. It's just like, hey, I like these heroes. They're doing really well. Something bad happens, and now all 4 of them are dead. And then you can go visit them in the graveyard. And then you name them like your friends' names, and you're like, let's do this, Eric. And then Eric dies, and you're like, oh no.
What was like done? XCOM. I was doing the same thing in XCOM where you can name friends.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, I fucked up.
I got way too attached to my XCOM character.
Yeah. Like, I swear, they make the games harder if you name your guys.
Tyler, no!
Why? Why didn't you duck?
So what is the premise of Darkest Dungeon? I haven't had a chance to really look at it. I know it's a roguelike.
Yeah.
I've heard it's terrifyingly tough.
Yeah.
But what is the actual premise of it? Did you know what the story is like?
Yeah, basically what it is you are the descendant of an old-time wealthy family, and your ancestors explored the manor, and underneath the manor was a cellar filled with unspeakable evils, and they went in there with the intent to increase their wealth. And when they did, it brought ruin upon the manor because basically everyone died.
Oh, so they fucked up. Yeah. We made a mistake.
They in fact played with fire, and yeah. But then it's your job to come in, hire adventurers, and rebuild your manor to the once former glory that it had.
So you don't actually, does your character, does he actually go into the dungeons as well? Or do you just hire like mercenaries or heroes to fight for you?
You have no personification. You are just commanding.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. And I mean, you get new gear, you get new abilities. There's combo attacks to your team. There's all kinds of synergy between character model or classes, and it's just fantastic.
So that's RTS?
It's turn-based. It's not an RTS.
Okay.
It looks really cool. There's another one that I was looking at. It was called The Escapist. It's like you have to escape from prison.
Yeah.
And you have to like actually set everything up, and even if you think that you have everything, you might not, because you may have like your cellmate might be trying to rat you out to the guards. So if you don't knock him out, he's gonna go talk to the guards and let them know. And then guards do their patrols. You can start digging a tunnel, but then you got to hide the tunnel. And it looks like it's a lot of fun. It's got some decent feedback on Steam about it, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm always wary about Steam reviews though, because I mean I've seen a lot of reviews where it's like, there's one on Chivalry. I'll use this as a direct example. The guy states, I don't even own this game, and Steam lets me review it 11 out of 10, and that's the second highest rated review on Steam. So that kind of defeats the purpose of community reviews. It undermines the ability for like real information to be dispersed.
There are some on there that are pretty decent, though.
Absolutely. There's a lot, like, if you read a lot of, like, the curator stuff, like Total Biscuit and all that, it's quite good.
Yeah. I usually dig a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. What have you been playing lately? As our official guest jockey for the day?
Actually, I'm finally starting to catch up with everyone by playing Shadows of Mordor and Borderlands. Finally starting to catch up.
I'm catching up with Super Mario
Shadows
64.
of Mordor.
Shadows of Mordor was really fun.
It was a pretty entertaining game. It's just... It wasn't... I don't know. I played it for 7 hours the one night, and then I haven't been able to pick it up back since. It's just... I'm really having a hard time trying to get myself back into it.
Maybe you waited too long to play it.
I think that might have been the issue.
I mean, Batman Arkham Knight's right around the corner.
That too.
Yeah.
And Cody is our resident Batman fanatic.
Maybe a touch, yes.
He seriously, his room. He has a room dedicated to his collection, his nerd room, and it's 90% all Batman and Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Like, I sometimes wonder what he actually does in there and how much he actually loves Batman.
You don't want to know. It will haunt your very dreams. But in any case, yeah, it was technically it was your fault that room even existed because you had to give me Resident Evil collectibles. And then it started with Resident Evil, moved on to Batman, then moved on to 100 million other things.
The
I get one
infection
for Smells
vector
when he
was
dies.
successful.
There's about 7 shelves worth of stuff, and he's got one of them. Claims to.
Yeah. When he dies, I get one.
Nice.
So, you guys, we might need to get together.
I can't die. I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
So what do you know about the new Batman game? So I don't know. I know next to nothing about it.
Well, we know it takes place after Arkham City.
Mm-hmm.
The main villain is called the Arkham Knight.
He's one of the main villains.
One of them.
He works for Scarecrow, who actually finally gets a chance to shine.
Nice.
It's a really exciting thing. He's finally, from what I understood reading a couple of things, he's the one who brings everyone together. He's bringing Two-Face, he's bringing Riddler, Penguin, Ivy, Harley, everyone who's been burned by Batman in the past, along with this new Arkham Knight guy who nobody has any idea. I mean, 100 million people can speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to try and take over the city because they want to take Batman out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you do get to use the Batmobile.
Yes,
Yeah.
very first time in history you get to use the Batmobile.
Which there was, I know, I had a little bit of worry that they focused too much on the Batmobile.
Yeah.
But I've been reading a lot of previews of some of the bigger companies like IGN and all that actually have gotten a chance to preview the game and play a little bit of it. And they've all said that the Batmobile fits nicely into the game and doesn't take away from the other aspects of the game. But I know me and Cody are both hoping that Arkham Knight isn't actually Joker in disguise.
It would be if it's Joker.
Because
I'm a Joker fan. Joker's my number one villain of all time. So for me to say something like that's kind of saying a lot. Because, I mean, when you played Arkham Asylum, he was the main event villain. Yeah, you had Bane, you had Riddler, you had Ivy,
Killer
whatnot.
Croc.
But, yeah, Croc. Scarecrow was in there, too.
was like the most disappointing boss fight ever.
Oh,
All you do is
ever.
run away from him.
Yeah.
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 The best fight was fighting Bane, but once you fought Bane, everyone else fought the same way.
But that
Yeah.
game was so, like, it brought so many new mechanics in. It does
Yes.
get a little bit of a pass for...
Yeah.
Well, it's not the game I really was critical about. It was when you stepped into Arkham City.
Yeah.
All the new characters started coming in, but the same thing again was we finally thought, oh, Hugo Strange, a new villain that we'll get to see,
Yeah.
and Ra's al Ghul, and once again Joker.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn was there,
I think they're going to that well.
and then Origins came in, and once again Black Mask. You're thinking, oh, exciting, a new villain, and Joker.
Which the best fight in that game was Deathstroke,
Yes,
hands down. That was my favorite fight out of all the fights. Although I liked the Firefly fight, it was fun.
that one was actually pretty interesting. Challenging though.
Yeah,
Challenge is good. Game
You're
should
right.
hurt.
I wholeheartedly agree. A challenge is actually a good thing in those types of games.
yeah.
Games should hurt.
We were both kind of thinking that maybe Arkham Knight might be Jason Todd because they've introduced Tim Drake as
Yep.
Red Robin. They have Nightwing. So you got Dick Grayson, you got Tim Drake, which leaves Damian and Jason Todd. I don't think they're going to bring Damian into it. And Jason Todd really hasn't had much of a chance, so it would have been cool to see him pop up as the Arkham Knight. But it was just actually announced today that Jason Todd's going to be a DLC exclusive for GameStop, where you get to play as the Red Hood
That hurt.
for
That hurt.
like a mini. It's like a mini backstory for him.
Yeah.
So
Those
now we
DLC
have now it's like back to that fear that it might be Joker.
again.
But as I was saying to Cody, it could also, we never know, it could be also Azrael. Because they did play, if you did the side mission with Azrael in Arkham City, Arkham City, he kind of alludes to something bigger, and I'm actually more interested to see where they go with that.
Yeah.
Azrael's kind of, he's a different kind of character, because he's from a different order altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's picked up the mantle as Batman a couple times in the comics, in the worst possible costume ever, but...
You can't do much about that.
Yeah.
1960.
But I'm super excited for that.
No, that sounds like it'll be quite an interesting game to play. I've got to get caught up. I've still got to beat. Is Arkham Origins the third one that came out?
Technically, it is Origins is the third one that came out, but it's like a prequel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't done by Rocksteady, so I mean,
It's okay.
if you do miss it, you won't miss much because they're going back to the first year of Batman.
Oh, okay. So then I'm golden for this game.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Arkham Knight's actually following after Arkham City, which is the second one, which is a good thing too.
So long as like the DLC and stuff isn't spliced throughout the story, where like random sections are basically pay to play your entire game, I will pick it up. If it turns out the DLC does go that way, I'm probably gonna steer clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the few games I've been looking forward to this year. That and now Ark Survival that we talked about in the our first podcast.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs. I noticed that on June 16th it goes early access on Steam.
Nice.
So
Couple weeks.
I might take a dive and try it because I really, really want to play that game because you can ride a fucking dinosaur. I'm gonna get myself a fucking Stegosaurus or a Triceratops and I'm gonna roll around on that. I'm a fat guy and I need a fat dinosaur.
What isn't made better by the addition of like a T-Rex or a raptor?
There might be a dragon in it. I know they showed that at the end of the trailer, a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'm kind of curious to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I've been playing a ton of Towerfall. Ever since you showed it to me, and I realized that we actually got it on the PSN for a PS Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Every time someone comes over, I'm like, dude, we need to play this game. And it's just so much fun. Just the moment you have when you're shooting an arrow and then you accidentally hit your friend.
Accidentally.
I was
Right square in the back at point blank.
Shots fired.
Yeah, shot fired.
I know it was fun. I'm not good at it, but it was.
I've been practicing.
So
Not practicing very well.
Your
but I've
moment
been
is
practicing.
nigh.
practicing to accidentally shoot butternuts again.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Not premeditated, I swear.
Yeah. What are you talking about? You're crazy.
I don't know. I'm there's so much coming out, but there's very little that I'm actually excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
There's the new Assassin's Creed coming out that they've announced, Syndicate.
Yeah.
It's another Assassin's Creed to me.
I don't know. They released 2 in the same year last year, right?
Yeah, they did Rogue and they did Unity, and Unity came out pretty much broken.
Yeah. So I mean, they kind of oversaturated everything with that property, kind of needing a break.
I don't even know where they're really going with it anymore. Like they finished off Desmond's story in Assassin's Creed 3. Black Flag was basically a pirate RPG, which is the reason why I loved it so much because I played it like a pirate game and not Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Black Flag was the only one I really liked out of the whole franchise.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
Me too, actually.
Assassin's Creed 3 introduced some cool stuff, but Black Flag was had
legendary ships were
Unity. I didn't even play it.
They were so bad.
Yeah.
They all had a trick to it, right?
Yeah.
I took it all. It's the first Assassin's Creed. I actually did everything. Except for find the treasure, because fuck that.
That's actually quite the feat.
No treasure.
No.
If I physically have to go search for it, I don't want to do it.
In the area.
I wasn't always in the area.
No, I feel like Ubisoft themselves don't even know what they're doing with the franchise anymore.
Like
They're just kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. At this point, it feels like they're just kind of just rolling them out, releasing them year after year, and they're gonna sell because they've just built the brand. So.
Yep. And Far Cry 4 was the same way for me. It just felt like Far Cry 3, just with a different skin.
Yeah, it's good.
Far Cry 4, I enjoyed a lot more than 3, personally. I don't know, Far Cry 4 was one of the few open world RPG games like that where I 100% completed everything, and I almost did platinum, get the platinum trophy for that.
But you didn't.
No, I got.
Sadly, are you?
You're a failure.
Oh,
Cut short.
Go get back there and
there's like
go on. No.
There's like
Play them out.
there's 2 I needed to get, and then other games started coming out, and then
That's
just got
what's
backtracked.
terrible excuse. I haven't even finished Dying Light or Dragon Age Inquisition.
Took me a while to finish Dying Light too.
I'm like halfway in all of them. Although they added bows to Dying Light, so it's Game of the Year now. Hunting
Ever
zombies.
since Tomb Raider.
Hey, put a bow in any game, and I'm gonna love it.
Not to mention the fact you could drop kick zombies.
Yes. Oh my
Drop
god.
kick. Just karate kick, but drop kick them.
Yeah. You could do like the double leg drop kick in State of Decay too. As well, rather.
Yeah.
I haven't played a lot of State of Decay. I have it, but I haven't played a lot of it. I did enjoy a little bit of it.
It's fun.
It
It has
is.
some issues with like controls being kind of floaty and non-responsive, but the gameplay is solid.
Yeah, it's basically DayZ without the other players.
So without the griefing,
So you don't have to worry about being griefed. Yeah, exactly.
or
For
someone
being
stashing
basically
themselves inside of like a trunk and then leaving a car and setting up a homing beacon for other players to pick you up.
Actually, I watched a video of a guy. He was getting held up by a player, and the guy made him sing, so he wouldn't kill him. So the guy sat there and sang to him.
Nice.
Freaking hilarious.
DayZ has a weird community.
Oh, it is. And every time I play, I have like the worst time playing it. I played for 16 hours the one day.
Wow.
I found no food.
That is a
I
long
found
session.
I found 2 zombies. I found 1 player and no weapons.
Yeah.
That was my game. And then I died because I starved to death.
16.
I'd probably starve to death after 16 hours as well.
Well, my first time playing. I ever played this game. I found a
Fucking
city.
Got ya.
Oh, shame.
I found this city, got weapons, was doing great. Snuck my way. I was sneaking my way out of town to get out of the big city because there's so many damn zombies there.
You
And
gotta
just
snuck your way out.
I was working on it. And I was sitting there, I was waiting for a couple zombies to walk by, and then one of those little fucking, like, monkey zombies came around the corner and saw me, like the ones that are all hunched over, and they, like, chase after you. Well, they all chase after you, but, they run like a
All
bunny.
zombies pretty much chase after you.
Yeah, it's a
They're not
zombie
mice.
trait.
Yeah, so I ended up running out of town. I've got, like, a miniature horde behind me, and I'd run ahead of them a little bit, turn around, shoot one, keep doing that, and then I decided to jump over a fence, and then I broke my legs. And I crawled for like hours
Why wouldn't you just kill yourself and respawn?
because I was damn determined not to give up all the weapons I found. I did an Einfield.
What is that?
It's just an old World War II rifle.
Oh, okay.
It's like a one-shot kill on any zombie.
I gotcha.
So
Was
it's
it
great.
healthy?
And I ended up actually killing 2 zombies with broken legs while I was crawling through the ground. They were trying to kill me, so it worked out really well. I even went into chat and I was like, "Please, somebody with blood, come save
I need
me!
some bandages and a splint.
I will give you some of my shit." No one
That's not how DayZ community works, though. They show up, they're like, "Okay, give me everything, and then I'll shoot you after."
just
Bunch
hoping
of ass.
that maybe there'd be that one nice player playing.
That gets
Not
bred out
gonna
of you
happen.
really quick in that game.
Just their friends usually won't find those nice guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes even the friends aren't the nice guys. I've played with you on Crackdown. Do you remember Crackdown?
I remember Crackdown. He was helping
So,
get some achievements, and I just kept kicking him off buildings. He helped me get the achievement where you get to the top of like the tallest tower.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got to the top, he's like, "Hey, you want to make sure you jump off this side so you can get this achievement." I'm like, "Okay." Run over, boot him, see him go fly.
Yeah, and
Then I jump off.
so by the sounds of it, you deserved to starve to death.
Pretty much.
That's your comeuppance.
I'm a sadist when I play video games.
it was a good time though. I mean, I didn't have to worry about achievements, but it was hilarious.
And that's why we play video games.
Pretty much.
Absolutely, the hilarity of it all.
Yeah. I've also I've been diving a lot into the House of Wolves expansion for Destiny 2.
How is that?
It's fun.
I've got to catch up on that game.
They
It
did.
looks like it's a ton of
It
fun.
didn't add a lot to the game,
Yeah.
but big things that they did change made the game better. Because when they brought out the Crota expansion,
Yep.
pretty much you wanted the Crota gear.
Yep.
So Vault of Glass was basically, it was okay to get, but you're upgrading to Crota Gear so you could get to level 32.
Yeah, it's natural progression.
But when they brought out the House of Wolves, now you can go back and get stuff from House of Glass, and they've added in this, what's it called? It's a light. It's like a add-on you can get to upgrade all your gear. So it can actually.
Etheric light.
That's the etheric light, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can get that from doing the Prison of Elders, which is basically you get a bunch of friends together and you do arena-style combat with a bunch of NPCs. You can get it once in a while from the weekly Nightfall, or you can get it if you win all 10 rounds of the Trials of Osiris, which is the new PvP thing they've added.
Okay.
It's a weekly thing, so you can only buy in to do the weekly Trials of Osiris, and if you lose 3 matches in a row, you're out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's literally you have to be good, or don't even bother.
It's
Yeah.
not
Don't
just
you have
a
to win
flaming-
7 games to continue?
9.
Oh, 9? Oh.
Well, I think it's 7 games the initial, and after you win so many games in a row, you get more and more stuff. But if you win 10 games in a row, you get Etheric Light.
Okay. We need to do that.
Yes, we do. And
I'll hold your hand.
thank you. I was really
How
excited
you
because
gonna-
I
how you
did.
gonna play if you're holding each other's hands?
They've also.
You had a giant?
I am.
He's gonna come over. We're gonna set up 2 TVs. We're gonna cuddle. It's gonna be good.
Arm lock, if you will. They can just.
Here, just get in there. We'll nuzzle. We'll rub our beards together. It'll be great.
You might get lost in this.
It's just Velcro. Just get
Yeah,
stuck.
he's a mountain.
I'll do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
It's all good. It's good.
It doesn't matter.
But they've also increased drop rates.
Yep.
Like I managed to get a Galahorn out of the Nightfall, which you remember last time I was bitching about not having a Galahorn yet.
Yep.
Well, I got a Galahorn, and it's fully upgraded. So they made it a lot easier to catch up with everyone else, because now you can get, with your Vanguard marks, you can buy Vanguard armor that's already up there, a high enough light that's going to get you up to level 30 or 32.
Okay.
Right? So it's they've made it better so it's more accessible for people to play. The only downside that I've come across is that if you do Prison of Elders, you have to have friends online to do it. There is no matchmaking in it, just like the raids have no matchmaking.
Yeah, you
so
can
it's
always find a group, right?
Yeah, you can go on the LFGs on Destiny's website and the forums and all that.
Yeah.
So that's not bad, but
Yeah.
it is still a pain. The story was kind of cool. You're basically hunting a rogue house because you have like the main enemies you have the Fallen, you've got the Cabal, you've got the Vex, and then you've got what are Crota's guys called again? Help me out here, Jared. Hive, that's it.
Yeah.
So
Go team.
so the House of Wolves is
It's a layup.
he is led by a guy from Scola, and in the Reef there is the princess or the queen who basically is the queen of the Awoken, which is one of the races you can play as.
Okay.
And they've gone to war with the different houses of the Fallen, and they actually have Fallen that work alongside them within their kingdom or whatever.
Okay.
So she does basically the call to arms to come out and help fight this House of Wolves. And Scola ends up actually getting Vex technology, because Vex can actually like teleport and materialize into areas wherever they're needed, because they're just giant robots. They're just all one big mind. So with
They're
the,
bricks.
yeah, so when you get you mix like the House of Wolves and you mix the board. You mix the House of Wolves and you mix, Vex technology. Now they can bring in more forces to wipe out the Guardians in one shot.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Is there new weapons and new enemies, new gear? Or
There isn't much for new enemies, but there is some new weapons that you can get. They've actually they've added a new helmet for hunters called the Celestial Nighthawk. It's basically supposed to make hunters into boss killers. It increases your golden gun damage by ×6. Yeah, so it
It's
literally
ridiculous because Golden Gun's so overpowered as it is.
Well, yeah, like I've seen clips of people using like that thing in PvP, and it's like it's already a one-hit kill. So,
Yeah.
and
then-
it's a one-hit kill with a bigger radius.
Well, yeah, and then with the Prison of Elders, you have level 28, you have level 32, and you have level 34 or 35.
Yeah.
And once you go through all the tiers, you get different things. If you do the level 32, you get an armor core, and when you do the level 34, you get a weapon core. And if you get your armor core, then you can get upgraded armor from the vendor there for doing the Prison of Elders stuff, so it can help you level up that way. And it changes every week. So this week they had the chest piece. Last week they had the arms.
Okay, that's just on like a rotation, or
Yeah, and then next week they'll probably have like the leggings or something like that. So you can do that every week, so you can actually get the gear you need, so you can be like level 34. And I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff yet. I know the Trials of Osiris has some really cool. It's all like Egyptian style armor, so it looks really.
Yeah,
it's all gold plated.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff for the new expansion, because again, all the old gear can be leveled up now, and you can actually get drops of old gear already leveled up to House of Wolves style expansion strength.
Yeah.
Like
Is
my.
there- Oh, sorry. Is there a new raid coming out?
There's no raid. You get one new strike, and then that's it. So I mean, it kind of sucks that we didn't get a new raid, but we're supposed to be getting a really big expansion come this fall too.
Oh, okay.
So they haven't. They kind of, there was a leak a little while ago about when all the expansions were supposed, the timeline for when Destiny's expansions are supposed to come out, and then at the Video Games Awards, I think they were talking about the next expansion that's coming out in this fall for Destiny. Whether it's going to be an add-on that you can buy and add on to it, or if it's going to be in a separate game altogether that you have to buy, I have yet to know.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be a free DLC. Like
No.
They just roll out some content to keep people interested, and then release the rest of it at a later date.
That's
I found out, and I was a little disappointed with this. Like the season pass that you got only covers Crota and House of Wolves,
Oh.
and then you have to buy this next expansion, and they'll probably have another season pass for that for its next two expansions. So that kind of sucks, but
Yeah, and how much does a season pass cost, though?
I think it was $30. Mine came. I got the collector's edition for my birthday, so
It's not a bad deal, I suppose,
think-
as long as you get
I think it was
time.
20 or 25, I think.
I think it was 30. Most are usually 30.
Really?
Yeah,
Most of the ones I've seen usually 20.
it's
Yeah.
usually 20 or 30, depends on the game.
Yeah.
It was too long ago for me to remember.
Unless it's Call of Duty, then it's like $60 for the.
That's ridiculous. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to touch that one. I like the Call of Duty games, but that is ridiculous. Asking $100 for pre-release, and essentially all you get is beta.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're helping beta test the game. You shouldn't be paying for that. I've lost interest in all this pre-release stuff.
I agree, and I get why they do it. I mean, unfortunately, we are the ones that suffer between the battle between those who distributors and the publishers, right?
Yeah.
With digital download and digital everything.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for supporting the companies that need it and that should have it. But when you're a AAA company like EA, you don't need to pre-release. You can pay beta testers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna make $1 billion off of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, or is it 4?
3.
3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just did Advanced Warfare. Now we got
That's
Black
what-
Ops
yeah.
3.
That's what I'm confusing then. And,
Which I will probably pick up because I really like the Black Ops games.
well, exactly. And I mean, they don't need to do pre-release. They're a AAA company.
No. And of course, now we also have Star Wars Battlefront coming out this fall.
Which is super exciting.
I am so excited. There was a leak, not a leak, but there was a rumor going around that the collector's editions were leaked, and it showed special collector's editions for each console. Like Xbox One got like a Boba Fett helmet, and the PS4 got a Stormtrooper helmet, and PC got Darth Vader's helmet. But I looked into it, and it's actually it's done by a group of guys who basically do fake collector's editions and throw them out on the internet. So people were all excited. And everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you should see these!" Like, I don't know what I want to get. I kind of want to get one for the Xbox. And I'm like looking at them, like, "Oh man, I have a PS4, but I might have to pre-order all 3 of those." That's fucking sweet, man.
Yeah, that's.
I look more into it, and it's like, nope, just kidding. I'm like, hopes and dreams shattered. But at the same time, I don't have to decide and buy, spend $400 on stupid collector's editions.
This is so much worse than when that lightsaber in the new movie preview had the 2 little prongs that came out the side.
Oh my
Ruined
god!
childhood.
Why would they do that? No.
I have so many gripes about that, that it's not even funny.
At the
Like,
same time, absolutely hilarious.
yeah.
But it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's to protect your hands. If my lightsaber didn't have that on it, I'd be more upset.
And it's not the first time it's been done, so I mean,
And
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like,
I think it's the same thing with comic book movies. I just think fanboys get their underwear too twisted up over what is proper.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, they get so
Absolutely.
tied up in what's like going to be canon and what's lore and what's not. That
Yeah.
like, and I mean, technology advances,
Yep.
as does the timeline in Star Wars.
Well,
So
And all the Star Wars canon is no longer considered canon anymore,
yeah, and how
except for certain things now.
yeah, which is I
Clone
still have to
Wars,
figure. I gotta
Wars,
decide for that.
The Star Wars Rebels, all the movies. There's like maybe 4 or 5 books altogether, but everything else null and void.
Oh, that's not a bad thing though.
No, because there was a lot of inconsistencies in the books. I mean, yeah, the books
Yeah.
were great, but there was a lot of inconsistencies because, we get the movies and they kind of talk about this and that, and, you got Darth Plagueis who was actually, Emperor Palpatine's Sith Lord. He kind of mentions it in the prequel, and then they throw this movie out, or this book out, but it doesn't work with the rest of the timeline. Or Boba Fett being a clone, and in the books, they didn't really make mention or anything like that. And all of a sudden, new books are coming out. Oh yeah, I'm a clone. I got to get things done.
They kind of allude to the possibility he's a clone, but they also they act as though he's Jango Fett's son, or Jango rather acted that he was his son.
I don't know if they ever actually even mention his father in the books. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean. Is there's just some books were written so long ago.
Yeah.
In comparison to the newer books, that there's no really consistency to it.
Having
'Cause,
a
I
purge
mean,
is good.
As much as I like George Lucas, I don't think he knows what he's doing half the time. I mean, look at the prequels. I mean, I like the prequels to an extent, but Darth Maul, enough said. And Jar Jar Binks, like,
Jar Jar Binks is cool.
who thought
Jar Jar
that was
Binks.
the character?
Best character
Coolest
out of the
character.
entire universe.
He's got-
It's Lisa favorite character.
He was a big part of, he helped him so much.
Oh yeah, he
He
did
was-
so much. Please, I never want to see him again. Please redo the prequels.
At least they George Lucas listened and took him out of the second one and stuff. He wasn't a very big part, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like, they decided, so many years later, let's add all this other shit to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And all of it's garbage. Like, it should never have been added. It stands out. It doesn't add anything to the movie. It's unnecessary altogether. Like, in the first movie, when they go to Mos Eisley and they get up with Han Solo and they're trying to get on the Millennium Falcon, all of a sudden now Jabba the Hutt's there waiting for him with Boba Fett. And Jabba the Hutt looks terrible because back then graphics sucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in Return of the Jedi, they have this whole singing character who doesn't need to be there. And she looks terrible, completely out of place from the rest of the movie.
That's George Lucas universe building though, which is cool. It's like the whole Star Wars languages thing where there's all these random languages that you and I can't understand, and they may or may not actually even be a real dialect.
Yep.
But they create a universe and they add to the immersive feel.
I don't know if that stuff, though, added to it at all, really. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But adding something to a 20 or 30-year-old movie that really doesn't need anything, and at the time, graphically looks better than the prequels, because there's not so much special effects, which is a big issue I have with a lot of movies nowadays, is some of them are just special effects. There's no actual movie.
Yeah. It's too heavily relied on.
And we, as a lot of filmmakers, I feel lost some of the stuff that they did back in the day. I'm glad they're doing a lot of the stuff they did in the old movies in the new Star Wars movie.
Bring us back to Mad Max.
Well, exactly. Instead of, I want to CG fire coming out of this guitar, I want the real thing.
I want this guitar to be a flamethrower and strapped to a car.
It was a highlight of the movie.
He was the best character in the movie. He's
That is pretty sick, I will say.
No, I think CGI is fantastic if it's used properly.
it has its place.
It does, but it feels like most producers, directors, whatever these days, use it to cover up their own laziness.
Yeah.
To
That's
some
what it
degree. I
feels
mean, there's a point where you have to do it just to have the certain things you want in your movie as a cost effectiveness.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you have what?
Dragons.
100,000 dudes standing outside of Helm's Deep.
Well, in The Hobbit, Billy Connolly, his character Dwayne, or Dane. Is it Dwayne or Dane?
It's Dane.
Dane, yeah. Anyways.
Dwayne.
Anyway, the Dwayne The Rock is here! Rock bottom out of nowhere!
Hey, he did that in Fast 7. That was like the highlight of the movie.
But anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
this falls down to the whole. He wasn't able to make it to the movie because he was sick.
Yeah.
So they recorded his voice and they created the entire character using CG.
Which he looked fantastic.
And I had no idea until someone told me that.
It's come a long ways. Like, just look at Terminator Salvation? No, Genesis.
The new one?
Yeah, that's coming out. It's got CG Arnold in it, and it looks like Arnold from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Patron.
Yeah. It's
When they brought
like
the-
it's scary what they can do with it. It's cool.
Which they have announced that Disney has canned the third Tron movie.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
A little bit. I was looking forward to where that was going to go.
I was getting excited for another punk soundtrack, so.
It's time to get Skrillex. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Well, it's the same thing again. As I hate to go back to Fast 7 again, they did the same thing for Paul Walker too.
Yeah.
At the tail end of the movie, you saw him as. Well, it was actually, I think it was his brother that actually was.
That was Fast
Yeah.
8.
And they CG'd it to make it look like him as his dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie yet. Thanks.
Maybe you should get off your ass.
Hey. No. I'm fat for a reason.
Yeah.
Going back to the CG in The Hobbit, actually, it's funny you mentioned Dane, who looks phenomenal in CGI, but then all the orcs in CGI just look just terrible. Just pretty much look all copy and pasted.
That many, orcs on screen. It's no different than when I paint my Warhammer figures. It's just slap, 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 and then I get to like the actual main characters, and it's like 16 hours of fine detail painting. But when I have 30 goblins I gotta paint, it's mass produce that shit. They all look the same. Who cares?
First off, it's spray paint them black. It's a night battle.
Yeah, no, like, my issue with them lied in the fact that they didn't look terrifying at all. Whereas if you look at them from The Lord of the Rings, they, came from nightmares.
Yeah, they absolutely did it. I think a lot of that in Lord of the Rings, though, was guys in costume.
It was all the orcs were, well, most of them were practical.
Yeah.
True. But I found the orcs in The Hobbit seem more like orcs, less like goblins. If you know what I mean. Like,
well, I think the difference is in Lord of the Rings they were orcs, and in Hobbit they were Uruk-hai,
Yeah.
which is true orcs. It's black orcs to orcs in Warhammer talk.
oh, okay. Well, I've never read the books, so.
Oh, yeah. Uruk-hai are like the badass orcs that are like the original clones from Star Wars, to make another reference. Another analogy.
I'm okay with all the Star Wars references.
Of course.
And going back to like this whole topic of remastering and all that, they're remaking Gears of War 1.
Yep.
I am looking forward to that.
Actually, I kind of am too. I've heard many great things about Gears of War, but never sat down and played it.
We gotta buy an Xbox One, so.
Oh, no.
It's good, but I don't know if a game that was, I think it was already in high def, or like 720.
Yeah, it was 720p. No, it was 1080p. It was 1080p.
Yeah, does it need to get a high def remake?
The thing of it is that they're using the new Unreal Engine for it, though. The same engine that they used for Gears 3.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to have a completely different look to it still.
Was that Unreal 4 they used for Gears 3, or was that...
Gears 3 was Unreal 3.
Yeah.
So it was last year's new Unreal Engine.
Yeah. And Gears 1 was still Unreal 2, so...
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the story that they had in Gears of War, especially when you got to the second or third one. The first one was kind of whatever, but like the second and third one actually felt like there was actually like some resemblance of a war going on.
Yeah. The big thing with the story in the Gears games is that they do it with the Halo games as well. There's more, like, you have to read the books if you want to get the whole picture of the story. Yeah. And they don't have everything in the games, which is, I mean, it is what it is. I'm a big Gears of War fan, so I have all the books and I read them all. So it's not an issue to me, but...
I think it's a formatting thing. Like, video games, they just don't have that time to go through all of that text in cutscenes. Otherwise, you're essentially just playing a movie, which is problematic because that's not what we came to play video games.
Same with The Order.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have played The Order, but that's pretty much what it is. It's maybe like 4 hours of actual gameplay, and the rest is like watching a cinematic movie. Gorgeous game, great story, but it's basically an interactive movie.
Yeah, which is just like what Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls was too, basically.
Yeah, actually, there's quite a few examples that do that, and they do it well, like Valkyria Profile.
Yeah.
Chronicle, rather.
Valkyria
Fantastic
Chronicle.
job.
Yeah. And all the Telltale games.
All the Telltale games do that. Walking Dead.
But
all the
There's a
Telltale
Minecraft
games
one
have
coming out.
fantastic writing.
But the difference between them and The Order is a shooting game, and those are, they're marketed as story games.
They need more pew pew and less talking.
Yeah. When 2 chapters of the entire game is a cinematic video, you're doing something wrong, Sony.
Yeah. Like don't get me wrong, the biggest, like, I love games with stories.
Yeah.
But you gotta have that.
I need gameplay. I need to be able to do stuff too, guys.
Yeah.
At least with Telltale, I can choose what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can choose to say, fuck you, you're an asshole,
Yeah, you
or
can choose to be a clown.
I like you, let's be friends. Let's go back to my tent. We'll have we'll bump uglies.
A rom.
A brump.
We'll bump around.
Yeah.
Bump
That's where you were going to go with it? A bump rom?
Smashing pissers.
This is mash.
Mashing?
Mashing.
Mashing?
It is mashing.
Smashing.
Smashing is just much too aggressive.
Smashing sounds
Much
bad.
too aggressive.
Pee-pee touching.
Like there's like mashing other than yeah,
And then
smashing.
there's smashing, yeah. Hulk smash!
It seems less aggressive.
You want to have a good time.
That was a funny joke in Avengers 2.
Yeah.
It's the best time to turn into the Hulk.
I'm also excited for Jurassic World next month.
Oh, this month. It's this month.
It's
less
June
than 2
now.
weeks.
It is June now.
It comes out July 12th. Or June 12th.
I am
In a week,
excited-ish.
in a month.
I'm excited. It's Chris Pratt. It's going to be awesome. Shut up.
Yes.
Fight you. IRL. Let's go,
Chris
bro.
Pratt is sweet. He came out of nowhere.
I love
series,
him.
and
I
then,
just-
yeah, came super
Now,
popular.
now he's like one of the biggest actors out, or becoming one of the biggest actors out.
Yeah.
He's getting a real big name.
And he's taking on all like the reboots.
Yeah.
Jurassic World, Indiana Jones.
There's only one reboot I want to hear about, Eric.
Reboot!
Reboot. Which they've been working on forever, and I don't know. I haven't heard anything in a while. Nothing good, anyways.
We'll actually get a reboot.
I hope so. And you get to make that stupid joke.
Classic show.
It was. It had great parodies in it. It was a fun show.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I'll fight anyone who says it was bad.
You remember
Yep.
the TV.
Mike, the
The
TV!
Bucket? Oh, nothing.
Buy it now for only $99.99.
Welcome to the Love Hospital. Yeah. Anyways, have you guys been keeping up with Blizzard at all?
Not a whole lot.
No, I started Hearthstone today.
Hearthstone's
Finally.
fantastic.
It is. It is good.
It's a little tough to get into because you start behind and you don't have the cards. But
Yeah.
if you just do your dailies every day, you'll catch up, and then it's just a blast when you get going. You can make the decks you want. And
Doesn't
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm officially release this month?
Heroes of the Storm is officially released. It's either the 1st or the 12th.
What's
It
the
can't
first
be any
day?
more specific.
Today's the first. So if it's not released today,
Yeah, if it's not today, dating the episode, he said, it's 2 weeks. But yeah, that game was officially released, and they had oh no, it's already been released because they had an event for it where everyone was given a free stim pack, which is bonus EXP and gold.
It releases tomorrow, actually. I just looked it up.
Preemptively rolled that out for people already in the closed beta. Cool.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Nice. But I was gonna say, Overwatch potentially soon.
Oh, really?
Which is Blizzard's take on the Team Fortress style of game.
Yeah, they announced it at BlizzCon last year.
Yeah, they might have some more stuff to tease out here, hopefully soon. That is a game I am just waiting for.
It looked really fun. It looked a lot of fun.
Team Fortress 2 is awesome, so a Blizzard variant will be just as good.
Oh, absolutely. I'm kind of sad that Titan, their next gen MMO, didn't make it, but at least they're giving us something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearthstone might have a new. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't know. I haven't read anything to say that. I'm hopeful that they'll have a new deck set coming out.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're really going to do with that, though. I mean, I think they were saying they don't want to keep releasing decks for it.
No, because I mean, there's only so many things you can do with the limited format that the restrictions they place in that game do limit it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because games are defined by the restrictions, not by what they allow you to do.
That makes sense.
To make things interesting, that's a whole tangent by itself that we'll go into another day. That's like half an hour rant by me about what it is.
Do we know if Overwatch is going to be a free-to-play game, or if it's going to be a buy game once, then you have it?
I'm not sure yet. I don't think they've announced anything on that. I imagine they'll make it free-to-play and then run on the same kind of model that they do with Team Fortress, where people can buy community-made objects or Blizzard-made objects.
That's...
Because Blizzard's been all about that, right? With mounts and skins and whatever.
And now Game Time.
And Game Time. Game Time, which you can buy on the AH.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So if you do your garrison every week, you can play WoW for free forever.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it costs 20,000 gold on the server I play to buy a month's worth of time, and I can easily make 2,000 gold in a day on just garrison. But not even playing the game.
Jesus.
So, in 10 days, you can play for a month. And, it takes 30 seconds to do your garrison.
If only I still wanted to play WoW.
Yeah, that's my Blizzard plug. Don't actually play WoW because WoD is terrible. The raids are uninspired. They're just kind of whatever. And they just shot themselves in the foot with the removal of the 10-man raid.
Yeah. I was really excited for WoD when it came out, and I enjoyed it leveling up to 100, seeing all the war chiefs that I always read about in the books, and when I played Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 1, all the guys you'd hear about. It was cool seeing them in game. It was took me back to the days of playing, WoW, where I'd go exploring for hours upon hours. Oh look, there's a dragon over there. How close can I get to the dragon? Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's how close.
Shouldn't have been a warrior. Should have played a rogue if I wanted to sneak up on things. Yeah. But the storytelling in WoD got a lot better, especially after Pandaria.
I don't know about that. WoD is there's not even a cutscene after you defeat one of the main boss of the second raid instance.
Well, I can't speak on the raid side. I never did any raid.
Third. Yeah, but it's just there's just a lack of polish, which is weird for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Because Blizzard is usually super polished, and the games are just beautiful. You hover over a Hearthstone card, and there's little sparkles from the card that give you feedback. You hover over the end button, it circles it in red.
Yeah.
And just all those little things that add to it, there's little sound effects and just make the game feel full. WoD doesn't have that feeling. It feels incomplete and kind of stale.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was really excited for it.
It's fun if you have people to play with, but what game is it?
Yeah, well, that's why I play Destiny. If I didn't have my clan to play with, I probably wouldn't play.
If you were playing Destiny by yourself, it's not even worth it. Not even worth looking at.
And that's been my thing lately. Like I haven't been playing a lot of single player games. I've been playing mostly multiplayer games with people I know now, which is different from a few years ago where it was just like, oh, I'll just play pretty much anything by myself because I'm playing on this console, everyone else has this console, or these people play PC, and there wasn't as much multiplayer-ness together with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no cross-platforms.
I find I'm actually going the other way, going from more PvP to less PvP and more single player.
Well,
Like-
not even PvP, just games that have co-op in it. Because I always enjoyed like having it working as a team with my friends or other players. And I mean, in gaming, it's hard to find games where you actually get to play as a team, or have players who will play as a team that aren't are just randoms.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
Call of Duty is team-based, in quotes, but it's a series of individuals. It's not like an overarching teamwork game.
Yeah, and see, that's why I like PlanetSide 2, because if you want to go be a lone wolf, go for it. But you're not going to be able to do a whole lot as a lone wolf. You might get a few kills. You might be able to sneak and take out like one entire compound that's not way off in the booties that no one's really worried about right now, and might be able to do some ghost capping. But if you want to enjoy the game, you need to get in with a platoon, and you need to go out and actually listen to what they're telling you to do and go to where they're telling you to go.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the fun is, right? That's where you have 200 plus 200 people attacking each other, and fucking planes are flying over, tank shells, and you're running in there. I don't want to die.
Don't shoot me.
Right?
Yeah, that was a big reason why I liked the Gears of War multiplayer too. Was that it was a lot more team based than it was like Call of Duty or Halo, where you just run out and
Gears of War
pew
2
pew.
had very good multiplayer.
Yeah.
So
Well, when it worked.
hopefully, when they do the remake for the first one, they implement a more updated multiplayer service.
Yeah. The Gears 3 multiplayer was the best out of the three. I found.
Wasn't it just
so-
Lancer battles?
No, it was a lot more.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot more different because they added like a different Lancer and a different shotgun. So there's like 4 different starting weapons you could choose from.
That's cool then.
Yeah, plus the weapons you find on the map too. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, it's always just fun to play those games. Pillar of Eternity has an expansion coming out too right away, which plays a lot like Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights. Eric, did you mute your mic? That's a yes.
Yeah, no, I've been,
classic.
I've never played Pillar of Eternity because things. You know what? Fuck you guys. All right. Technology hates me.
Nice. Yeah,
Like,
but
sitting here, going, I'm talking, but nothing's coming.
Yeah.
Going. Oh, that's why.
why is everyone talking over me?
Fool.
You know what? Damn you!
But yeah, Pillars of Eternity is got a new expansion coming out, and I think that's going to be more information at E3.
Yeah.
But super looking forward to that one, which is on the topic of co-op games and one we should play sometime.
Absolutely. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, old school Baldur's Gate.
I am always excited to play just about anything with anyone, really. Anyone who wants to play a game.
Yep.
I play Elite Dangerous, which, though, is more of me playing by myself right now because I can't seem to get the same time frame as a couple of my buddies who play it as well, so we can actually go out together.
Yeah.
But still a very solid game to play.
That game, I'm just waiting for it to...
Go on sale. Summer sale, Steam summer sale.
That said, I mean, I should probably just support the game because it looks like a game worth supporting, and it seems like the community is pretty interesting, just from watching like Twitch streamers and stuff.
Yeah.
All the people there seem fairly friendly and positive.
And that's how I learned about the game and got interested in playing it. It was a pretty big jump for me though, because I wasn't sure if it was something I was actually going to play a lot of. But when I dropped almost 50 hours in the first like 3 days of honing it, I think it's pretty good to say that it's going to be a game that I'll play for a long time because there's so much to do. If I get tired of bounty hunting, I can go do trading. If I get tired of trading, I can be a smuggler. Or, well, that's how I made money in the first little bit to support me buying a better ship for bounty hunting, is I was smuggling slaves.
Well, that's just it, right? Like it gives you the option to go out and to be a miner if you want, and be a mining ship, or just to move goods from point A to point B. You can go be a bounty hunter. You can be a pirate. You can be a smuggler.
Well, yeah, and they're adding
It's Firefly the video game.
pretty much, and they're adding faction wars into it right away here. So
Cool.
that's going to be really cool because it's going to add more action, and apparently they're going to fix mining and actually make it a viable choice to work with.
Just rebalance some numbers.
Pretty much.
That's easy then. That's a minor fix.
Because mining right now is not exactly something you want to make money with.
Yeah, it's a big deal that they haven't fixed something like that because it limits your options. But I mean, the game's in pre-release still, so
Yeah, whatever.
it's also a reason I'm hesitant to buy it.
Well, it's not early access, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Like half the games you see on Steam right now in early access.
Yeah, there's a lot of early access and high-def remakes of games, like FF10 and FF10-2. I don't know if it needs a high-def remake. The game was good, but it already looked nice enough.
And they just did a high def remake of it for 360 and PS3.
Really?
Or it was at least on PS3. I don't know if it came on 360, but it was on PS3, and they did PS3 and Vita.
For which game?
Final Fantasy X and X-2.
Oh yeah. I don't think that was on the Xbox.
But now they're doing it again.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing it again. I might just be talking about the old one.
Well, I know I think they're porting it to PS4 as well.
Oh, maybe they are then. I don't know.
Because we need,
There's a lot of high-def remakes of games coming out.
which is okay for some of the games, but I hope it's not something we get a lot of.
I think we will for the next little while, just because making a video game is inherently a large risk financially, because you never even know like what makes a game good.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked really well on the PS3 because I mean they brought like the Splinter Cell collection, the Silent Hill collection.
Yeah.
And having
Oh, the Silent Hill collection was so broken though.
Yeah, but having some of those things like makes it a little easier. Like I was happy when they brought Last of Us out on the PS4
Oh, great.
Yep.
and Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
especially Last of Us because it came out at the end of the PS3 lifespan.
New Tomb Raider coming out too.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
great.
Only on the
Tomb Raider?
Xbox.
Oh my god. The first Tomb Raider, like, when I first played, I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I've played all of the old Tomb Raiders, so I'm just going to keep playing them.
Yeah.
And that one is just like, this game is amazingly well done.
That game was unbelievably
I don't
amazing.
even like those kind of games, and I liked it because
Yeah, the new Tomb Raider, or I guess the new old
The
Tomb
bow and
It was
arrow.
the bow and arrow.
It was the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It was the absolute best weapon of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It made no noise and it one-hit everything.
exactly,
Pretty much, yeah.
and that's why I'm
It
waiting
was
to
so
see
brutal too.
the Uncharted collection. If they do an HD remastered of all the Uncharted games, because I've never got a chance to actually play through them all.
I think they are doing that. I think that's all the...
Which is awesome because Tomb Raider may be interesting in Uncharted, but
Like, it's a new Tomb Raider game. It's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Is
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
know.
announced at E3.
Yeah, which is only on the
Has been
Xbox
announced
One,
before.
which is
garbage.
a little upsetting, but
It's a little upsetting.
Whatever. I mean, if I gotta go buy an Xbox One so I can play it, I mean,
One
so
game.
be it.
I have both systems, so it doesn't bother me. But it is just it's something that shouldn't be exclusive.
Sooner or later, I was gonna buy one anyways, because they're also bringing Elite Dangerous to the Xbox One, so people who don't have a PC that can run the game. If you've got an Xbox One, then you can play it.
That's sweet.
That's really cool. And there has been a lot of whispers about maybe seeing Battletoads make a triumphant return.
Yeah, a lot of leaks and then
Well, I mean,
rumors.
I can't remember which company it was offhand. It might have been Ubisoft. They went to developers to ask what game projects were available, and Battletoads was not on the list. So either it's just completely gone, or it's already in the making. So,
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, they made an appearance in Shovel Knight. I believe I said that on the first cast.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And it was well received there. And at the very least, it'll stop that stupid phone call from going to Game Store and saying, do you have Battletoads in stock?
Oh my god, it's the bane of my existence.
I got that a few times too.
Exactly. So, hopefully, if this game is produced and it is Battletoads, it'll stop at least that.
Better be on the Wii, damn it.
And speaking of the Wii U, Igarashi's new game, Bloodstained, it just broke the $3 million mark, making it ported also to the Wii U on top of everything else.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a Symphony of the Night Castlevania style game.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. You can still Kickstarter it. I believe it's on for another like 20 some days at this point, and I think the game itself is $15, but the guy's a legend, so support him.
Really can't go wrong with that.
Yeah,
It's like one of the MMOs that I'm watching is called Crowfall, and they basically explain it as like Eve meets Game of Thrones.
Oh.
But it's done. It's the actual development team has guys from like Ultima and Shadow's Bane and a bunch of the old retro ones that we grew up with. I see that.
Anarchy Online and Ultima, not good signs.
Ultima had a strong following.
A strong following doesn't make a game good, though.
That's true.
That is also true, yeah.
I mean,
It's a counterpoint.
it's good to some people, right? Just because we don't think it's good doesn't mean it's not a good game.
Yeah.
True.
That is also true.
I will concede that point.
And I mean,
I often like bad games. Let's get
Exactly.
one thing straight.
Yeah. I loved Duke Nukem Forever. I said that in the first
I
episode.
liked Bionic Commando for the PS3. It was terrible in every aspect,
no.
but I had fun with it. Okay, says the guy, oh, I like Duke Nukem. It's so good.
Come on. You still say dialogue of Duke Nukem.
The Duke Nukem game, like the writing I've seen of it, is in character of Duke Nukem. Like it was what Duke Nukem 3D was.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was one of those things that was way past its prime.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't in a good era anymore.
They should have just scrapped what they had with Forever and just rebuilt and started fresh.
I just hope we never see another Duke Nukem game again.
It's unlikely at this point.
Yeah.
I would like one if it was like started from the ground up with a development team that actually was going to be dedicated to it.
Well, apparently, from what was going on is Gearbox was suing 3D Realms.
Yeah, and 3D Realms got it back from
And
Gearbox.
then Gearbox sold it back to 3D Realms. So we may see a Duke Nukem on the horizon. I hope we don't, but it is a possibility.
Yeah.
So if there is, I'm just not going to play it.
No?
If there is, I'm first in line.
Of course you are. Shut up and take my money!
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh,
But, no, Crowfall looks really cool because, like, what they're going to do is there's going to be, like, campaigns that you can jump into, and then in that campaign world you can build, like, strongholds and forts and attack. It's going to be a very PvP-centric game, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
When do I get my spreadsheet simulator?
yeah. But it's going to be yeah, words. I can't say them.
I rag on Eve, but Eve seems like a game that's truly interesting, and it never sold me. But it
Eve
does look
is-
interesting.
Eve is a different type of game from every MMO I've ever played.
Yeah.
Go
back to Crowfall. Back to Crowfall.
Don't get it. Okay. We'll leave that for a second. But they've got a whole bunch of different races into it. They've got centaurs and all that. But you go back, once you're done the campaign, you go back to basically your own kingdom that has its own politics and everything that you would find watching Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So it looks like it could be something to keep an eye on for people who are into want something a little bit more player controlled, because that's one thing I really like is player controlled worlds.
Yep.
I'd like to see more of it. Like Eve's player controlled world is what made me try the game, and with Crowfall offering it, and not to mention it's got a bunch of cool races. I mean, you can be a fucking centaur, so fuck guys.
I have a question about centaurs. Do they have two rib cages? One where
One
the horse
really
rib
long
cage would be,
one.
and one where the human rib cage would be?
I don't know the anatomy of a centaur. Probably. I don't know. I would assume so.
I would
Is
think
that not
That
weird
means-
to you?
No, I don't know.
Would that mean there's two hearts
And lungs?
and lungs?
Because that's the point of the rib cage, is protect your vital organs.
I think there'd be one hell of a spinal curve.
This is what
I
I'm
don't-
getting at. That's what That's what's
I don't
always
think-
perplexed me about the Centaur race.
I don't think they'd have two different rib cages.
So should we just pull up a diagram of the interior of a centaur?
Yeah, you can edit that in.
Is there one that we can?
I
I feel like this is something I need to Google now.
This is Google
It'd probably
search
just be
worthy.
one long rib cage that curves, right?
Centaur anatomy. There we go.
You mean like a slinky?
Holy fuck! We got a diagram.
Yeah, kind of like a slinky.
Yeah, they have. According to the diagram, they
Yeah,
have
two separate rib
two
cages.
separate rib cages.
There we go.
All right.
That's
Problem solved.
That spinal cord looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, that looks messed up. That's actually
That's
how
like a 90-degree
really
angle.
have them. Oh, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to make go away. I don't.
Would
I
you
don't,
say his
I
spine
don't want to
is
make
right?
money like that.
Like that.
Prostitution ring, guys. I'm out.
There's a brothel. A brothel.
Does it involve centaurs?
That's kind of weird.
I mean,
I think that's going on bestiality now.
Yeah,
I think we need to backtrack a little bit and get back to the original conversation before this gets a little too weird.
not
Yes,
if
they
it's
have two
the upper
cages,
half.
But moving on.
When does Crowfall
Not if
come
it's
out, or what have they announced?
They're still going into. I think they're still going into in alpha right now, and they'll be going into closed beta. But it is on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So I've been debating on if I want to kick in there yet, but
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. MMOs are so hard for me right now. I used to love them, but I can't seem to find any that I actually want to stick with.
Yeah. Is it actually? Has it met its goal to be funded yet?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it hit its goal within the first 3 days.
And they have like a reasonably sized team to actually roll out an MMO.
Yep. It looks like it's like I said. It looks like something to keep an eye on
Yeah.
for anyone who's into MMOs. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
I want to take time to look more into it before I make a final decision.
yeah.
I've just kind of read snippets here and there about it, but it's something I'll probably look more into. I mean, Star Citizen's on the horizon too, but God knows when it'll come out.
Yeah. Yeah. We've talked about that on several occasions, so
Yeah.
we'll let it sit for now, and we'll come back to that topic on another day when Elite Dangerous is just a better game than it.
Elite Dangerous has already hit everything that Star Citizen has promised.
Yeah. And it's released essentially, or available.
Yeah, well, God knows if it'll ever be available. It's like the notorious No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky's it's getting something at E3 at least. It's getting at least a teaser or a hopeful.
How about a release?
At
That'd be
At
great.
this point, they need more than a teaser for it.
Yeah.
That's all it's been is teasers.
We need a solid release date, or at least a pending release date, just to give us something, because I'm starting to lose hope.
How about some actual gameplay?
Gameplay would be nice too. Gameplay.
Yeah, I know. That's a game that, like, I'm not generally into this type of game, but it seems like it's interesting. So
Neither am I either, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me getting older. I'm more interested in mundane things.
I
mean,
think it's
essentially,
tastes have matured.
well, essentially, Elite Dangerous is space trucking.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's
maybe
Firefly.
I might as well just go buy like Euro Trucker as well and play it.
I don't know about that.
It's pretty much the same thing,
It's not
right?
getting that crazy.
Yeah, let's not go into the deep
Just
end
hauling
here.
stuff back
I'm
and
buying
forth.
Train Simulator 2 and all 800 DLCs to reskin my train for $4,000. I think it actually does cost around $4,000.
That's ridiculous.
Actually, I think it's like two. Let's be fair.
Only $2,000, but you can have all the skins you want for your train.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm sold.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna pick up some sweet Mario Maker when it comes out?
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, it seems like. I was under the assumption that was already a thing, but I guess now it's an officially licensed program.
It's
instead of
official,
a third party.
Well, I mean, and on top of that, I guess Lego's gonna get it into the Minecraft universe. They're developing a game that's gonna take on Minecraft. Plus, they're also developing a game called Lego Dimensions that's supposed to jump right in line with Disney Infinity and Skylanders.
Really?
Not that any of us are gonna play those games.
No, I think we kind of missed the boat. Like, we were the Pokemon era,
Yeah.
where you
But-
did red and blue. Or
It's interesting because I was looking at some of the play sets, and because Lego has the rights to use Marvel and DC and Star Wars and Jurassic Park
Batman in space fighting
and Doctor Who.
Batman in space fighting Matt Smith.
Yeah, no, they have the playset. I've seen it. I've seen the playset for Doctor Who.
That's awesome.
And I mean, Lego games are great.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
fun.
They're fun. I mean, they're the same thing over and over again, but
Yeah.
there is an enjoyment out of it. They're always fun. They're always funny.
They are literally for everyone.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. And I will probably pick up Jurassic World when it comes, the Jurassic Park one when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jurassic World's a movie that I really hope will be good.
So do I. Even if it's not, I'll probably enjoy it because it's just like the Turtles movie for me. It was terrible on every level for the Ninja Turtles movie, but it was a fun movie.
Shredder was cool.
Shredder was cool. I liked what they did with the Turtles.
Yeah.
I'll probably get grief for that, but I thought
I like the Turtles.
how they gave them all their own personalities to their characters, to what they were. But I mean, it was a bad movie. But sequel, we have Seamus taking up the role of Rocksteady.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I am in that all the way.
And Seamus, Hype Train has left the station.
Yep. And the Chinese guy from
The original
Fast and Furious.
Judith Hogue's coming in.
Yep.
Wow.
I couldn't remember his name.
Who's playing Casey Jones?
Stephen Amell,
Yes.
the man himself, who apparently might be wrestling. There's rumors that he might wrestle at SummerSlam against Stardust.
Yep.
Oh my god.
There is.
So I will
It's
be
like-
watching a wrestling pay-per-view if that happens.
Yeah, it is going back to the 90s. I will never watch wrestling again. When it became the WWE, I just lost it.
Yeah.
But Stephen Amell, man, wrestling, I'm down. I'll watch it.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's
I'd
a
watch it
possibility.
solely for that.
That's horrible.
$40 for a pay-per-view to watch just that match.
I'll chip
Okay.
in.
It'll be like 2-minute match.
Hey, we all chip in $10. It's happening.
Well, I got the network. So.
All right, so we're going to Jared's house.
Yeah.
Jared, there better be popcorn. You're not eating
yeah.
it all, you bastard.
I don't like popcorn, so it's all yours.
Oh, you're in luck.
Excellent. One fat guy to another. There just better be food.
Nice.
There will be.
And that's our allotted wrestling time for like, I don't know, the month.
For the rest of our existence.
Yeah.
I could go like forever.
You never know. Me and Jared might sneak off and go do a wrestling episode without you.
Maybe get Cody in there.
Yeah, we
I
can
could do that too.
You guys can absolutely go wrestle without me. I want
Well,
to
we're not going to wrestle. We're going to talk about
We're
wrestling.
just talking about her.
There's not going to be any man-on-man action here, guys.
Yeah.
What you think?
Nice. Another big game I'm looking forward to is Sword Coast Legends.
I have no idea what that is.
Just making
Well
stuff
played,
up,
sir.
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm all about these games. There's actually, like, I've never been as excited for video games as I have been as of late, which is weird because for the most part I'm just like, whatever. But lately it's been actually exciting for video games. You got Bloodstained, you got Ukulele, you've got Sword Coast Legends, which plays like another Baldur's Gate style game.
Okay, well, I'm down.
Yeah, you've got Overwatch. Sorry, I got written down. Battleborn, new 2K game.
Yeah,
similar
Battleborn looks
yeah.
interesting.
Similar to Borderlands.
Sold.
Yeah.
Sold on that.
Yeah. And like the Borderlands games
is awesome.
Yeah. It got like even like stupid things like Telltale's Minecraft.
Yep.
Why not? I'll play it for a couple hours and finish it.
It's interesting with that because Telltale is more about their story, and what is Minecraft story? So it's
I didn't know there was a
More
Minecraft
Steve.
story.
it's going to be interesting to see what the direction they go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Telltale has been killing it. I've been.
Which is funny because they started off making horrendous games.
Yeah.
Like the Jurassic Park and Back to the Future.
And then they did Walking Dead, and then it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they did Wolf Among Us before Walking Dead.
There's a
No,
second one.
they did Wolf. The first season of Walking Dead was done first, and then they did Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us at the same time, the second season.
Yeah.
And there's now Wolf Among Us 2 coming out.
Yep.
And they've got Tales
Game
of
of Thrones
Borderland
going.
and Game of Thrones on the go right now, which I've been playing both of those. And Tales from Borderlands is hilarious, as it should be. and Game of Thrones plays perfectly into the TV series, and it's got everything you would expect from it.
That's cool.
I need to do some catching up on the TV series.
Yeah, you do. And you also gotta watch Supernatural so you know who the fuck Dean is.
Yes,
You're not
yes,
gonna
you
watch
do.
that
This
show.
guy texts me. He says, "I got my shirt punch order in," and he's like, "Oh, I got this Pokemon one, I got this Zelda one, and then I got this one with a dude with like a leather jacket walking towards a car with a gun in his hand that says Dean." I don't know what this
runs a
is.
school.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know.
You need to get some fandoms under control here, bud.
Yeah.
It's not. I didn't pick the shirt. It's not like I picked the Dean design.
Oh, we lost Proto. Ran away.
Yeah.
Hi, Tyler.
So he got so offended he took off.
Hey, he's gone. Let's talk about wrestling, guys.
So last night,
I can still hear you.
Hey,
I ordered some random shirts from Shirt Punch as well. And where is this from? For those of you who can't see it,
Yeah.
it's a blue globe with an airplane that's flying over it, and it says Nova in the middle of the globe.
I'm not sure, actually.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm not sure about.
I feel like I should know.
That ship looks familiar, though.
And I'm going to feel real dumb when I figure it out.
Probably. You should maybe do some Googling tonight after we're done.
Yeah.
I tried. I couldn't find it.
Your Google powers are not strong enough.
Apparently.
You
That was a
will-
letdown.
you
It's,
must-
it's definitely something I should know.
Probably. My shirt punch order should be in. I should probably go check the mail tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Hopefully it's stuff I actually know what it is. I'll probably get something. I don't know what this is, guys.
Yeah, I got like a whole bunch of cool stuff. So I did the random order and got like a shirt with Groot on it. I got a shirt with Doctor Who.
Jealous.
I have no idea what that is.
Doctor
Yeah.
Who?
No, the Nova.
Oh, I was like, really?
And thank you, Jared.
Get out. Just get out. You're done.
Uh,
So we'll be taking additions for our third seat now. Jared
No.
has to hand in his nerd card.
I haven't watched it since Tenet stopped being the Doctor.
Matt Smith was so good though.
Matt Smith was so good.
Tenet was
I don't like him. He'll-
fantastic as well.
Looks too funny for me.
Tenet was every girl's wet dream.
The Doctor was supposed to look funny.
Yes. And it was the way his character was, right? They explained it. You got to watch the 50th anniversary episode. They kind of explain the difference between Tenet and Matt Smith, like how Matt Smith was more childish because he kept recession and not believing that he did anything bad or anything like that. He wouldn't forgive himself, so he'd act more kiddish.
Oh, okay.
But I recommend watching the Matt Smith stuff because the story writing in the Matt Smith story arcs was really, really well done.
Okay.
And they play with one of my favorite enemies of the Doctor, which is the Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
Prob-
I did see that.
They're the most terrifying thing ever.
They make you afraid of stone masonry.
Yep. I'm absolutely afraid of going near a church now. However, guys, we're coming to the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
So,
we are almost at the 2-hour mark.
it's a sad day. It's a
I
sad
don't think you have the wrong timer on the go.
Skype's timer.
That
Oh, never
timer
mind,
doesn't
never mind.
matter.
Yeah. No,
All right.
you're right. You can edit that out.
We'll edit that
Something
in.
Part of the gag reel.
Put it to a soundtrack.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Game Jockies Lazarus Podject. I'm Eric. I'm here with Tyler.
I'm
And
Tyler.
And
We
our guest
nailed this
for the
outro.
evening, Cody.
Thanks.
And I'm still Jared.
Make sure you comment down below, like and subscribe, and also check us out on Twitter
Game Jockies.
and Facebook,
At
Game Jockeys. And we'll see you next time.
bye.
Take care.